There she is. Do you think this is the closest we're going to get to interviewing her? Liz, I've got one or two questions. This is Liz Truss land. We are in Downham Market in her constituency of South West Norfolk. Now, this has been a hardcore Conservative for generations. Last election, she got approaching 70% of the vote. Now, as you probably remember, one or two things has happened since then, not least of all, her becoming Prime Minister. It didn't last very long, but it certainly left an impact. Now, the Conservatives are about to be routed in an election imminently. They're going to face a catastrophic wipeout, and there's lots of reasons for that, from Partygate to the cost of living crisis, the collapsing National Health Service, everything to do with Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak being, well, let's not even go there. We could go on, but I think Liz Truss is the main single factor. When her policies crashed the economy with policies people didn't like, after that I think voters went, we've had enough. We're not even going to listen to you anymore. It doesn't matter what you do. So I want to find out, does that apply here? Does that apply in the very constituency where not that long ago people rallied in overwhelming numbers to make her the local MP? We are going to talk to people here and find out just how bad it is for the Conservatives. Because if they're getting wiped out across the country, that's one thing. But if they're in danger here, then this party faces an existential threat.
It doesn't matter who gets in.
Yeah.
They all talk a load of crap. Honestly and truthfully, yeah, I'm disillusioned about the whole thing.
Are you going to vote at all?
Oh, yeah, I should vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll still vote Conservative?
No, not at all.
Farage?
I don't know. I've got to seriously think about it, you know.
So maybe Labour?
No.
Forget Labour, but some of the other parties just need to home in on something that's going to get them the ex-Conservative vote. There's an interesting situation. I was talking to my son, and he now lives in Barcelona, but he was saying that he's got a house in Tunbridge Wells. I don't know if you know Tunbridge Wells in Kent. He said it was Conservative through and through. And he did politics at uni, and he said, Mum, he's gone Liberal Democrat completely. So, you know, I don't know why, but, you know, and there's a very Tunbridge Wells and that area affluent.
And even they're going. Huh? And even they're going against the Tories,
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, I like Boris. We don't, us and our two boys, we don't discuss politics.
Oh, right. Your boys not so much Boris Johnson fans?
No, different generation.
I know. Are they Labour?
Well, one definitely, one, yeah.
You don't talk about it?
No, we don't discuss religion or politics, do we? So, but I think it's sad that we've got this close to the election, and there are a lot of people like us who are thinking, should we even bother to walk up and vote?
I'm not sure who to vote for at the moment.
What do you think about Liz Truss?
I think she's a tosser.
General thoughts of mine of the election personally is I hope Reform get in.
How do you normally vote?
I certainly don't vote Conservative. I have been Labour. But the trouble with Labour I find this year is I don't know what they stand for. The Conservatives are so corrupt, it's been proven, corruption, lying, gambling, you name it. I've got no faith in them whatsoever. Reform, yes, there are some things he says I don't quite agree with, but in general, I honestly think that he's for change, and this country needs change.
I'll vote for Nigel.
Nigel Farage? Well, he's not standing here, so it's the Reform candidate. Who's the Reform? Do you know who he is?
No.
Don't know who you don't even know his candidate?
No, I'm just going to go there because fed up with Conservative and fed up with Labour, and so I'll just say, don't understand it, don't understand politics.
So you'll just find the Reform logo and whoever that is?
I'll go in and just sign him and that's it.
Why, who did you vote for last time?
Conservative.
So why have you gone off?
I don't know really, but I thought I'd just have a change.
Yeah. Do you know, what about Liz Truss? Would you like her?
Liz?
Laughing. What do you think of Liz Truss?
I don't think about her at all.
What do you think of her as Prime Minister?
Rubbish. Waste of time.
Wasted time. 49 days, it wasn't that long to be fair.
No. I mean, I could have done better myself, I think.
Do you think?
She made the mistake of coming up with promises she couldn't fulfil. The money markets thwarted her, and so did the Bank of England. And she hardly ever came into the constituency. I can't ever remember her holding a surgery in Downham Market.
Did she just take it for granted because people always vote Conservative here, so maybe she didn't really think she needed
I'm a
to?
Tory councillor, and she doesn't represent my brand of Toryism.
Can I ask what is your brand of Toryism?
Thatcherism.
She was, I'd say, quite Thatcherite. She styled herself on the Iron Lady, but her policies were kind of, you know, cut taxes on the rich, that kind of thing.
Yes, but she couldn't match up to Margaret Thatcher's guile, commitment and determination. Margaret Thatcher was a stateswoman who served the public. Liz Truss was a career politician.
Not a very good career politician, though, I suppose, because...
Well, if she can't get it right as Prime Minister, I mean, all Keir Starmer has got to do is say as little as possible and let the Tories hang themselves, of which Liz Truss is part of a sinking ship.
Can I ask who you're voting for?
Labour Party.
Do you... Because it's quite a Conservative area, how do you feel quite isolated?
Yeah, because it's been a Conservative area since 1964, because it's dominated by farmers, landowners, so lots of people vote that way. Do I feel isolated? Yeah, I think I do here,
What made you Labour?
because I'm quite interested in politics, and I've been reading and listening to it for years, and my opinions are that way, what I feel about housing, education, opportunity. That's why I do it.
Were your family Conservative?
Yeah.
So you were a break from that tradition?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Do you think they could win this time here?
Yes, I think they can, but people, because they don't want to vote, lots of people still don't want Liz Truss back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not much love I found for her.
No, there's not. So a lot of people are voting for James Bagg, I think, instead of Liz Truss.
The local candidate, Liz Truss, a little bit tainted by, obviously, Prime Minister for 42 days. And you've got a very good local independent, James Baggy, so, you know, there's a possibility there as well.
He's everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah, so, I mean, I think he's got a reasonably good chance, really, you know, yeah.
Do you think Labour could come through the middle, though, if the vote split?
No, because if you look at Norfolk, demographically, most people vote Conservative, you know, really.
It sounds terrible, but the people in this area would vote for Sooty if Sooty is Conservative.
Who have you voted for?
The only ones that are going to do any good.
Who? The suspense.
Conservative,
Ah.
of course.
Do you think they've done a good job?
Well, I think they've done the best of job that they could possibly do under the circumstances. They've had COVID, they've had everything thrown at them.
Do you think Liz Truss did the best she could under the circumstances?
Who?
Liz Truss, your local MP.
Unfortunately, Liz was a bit weak, wasn't she?
Liz Truss fan or?
No, I'm going to vote independent.
Independent, okay. So why independent rather than, say, Labour reform?
Because I wouldn't vote for Labour if I lived to be 110.
Why not?
Because I don't trust them.
No? What don't you trust about Kiss?
I don't think they've got any plans, I don't think they've got any personality, and I wouldn't vote for them, sorry.
Do you think Liz Truss will lose? Hey.
I suspect she will. I suspect she will.
That's a big... If she's losing here, that's...
Yeah, but it's her problem.
Yeah.
Not my circus, not my monkey.
Who are you going to vote for, do you reckon?
I'm not.
Did you vote last time?
Not Mr. Baggy. We're not going to vote for him.
What's going on with Mr. Baggy? Why look, people are laughing. Why are people laughing?
Because there's signs everywhere, and they're just everyone's ripping them down and getting rid of them. Especially where we are in North, we're just ripping them all down. So he must be a joke. I don't know. I've never met him.
Why is it? Because it's an eyesore. You don't like his face everywhere.
Well, I've not ripped them down personally, but
Go on, admit it.
I don't. I don't know why they're doing it, but for some reason they are.
Do you think Liz Truss will lose round here? She's been MP for ages.
I don't think she will come anywhere. I don't think she will after being Prime Minister and not doing very well. No. But no doubt she'll probably put taxes up again.
She didn't have
So
quite the backbone, did she, to be Prime Minister? I don't think she was hard enough.
Well, she got. I mean, because the market started crashing, so people's mortgages went up.
Yeah, well, she went that. Sorry, they wouldn't like that, would they? Obviously,
No.
people. It's just whoever gets in, they say, "Oh no, we're not going to put the taxes up. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that." And as soon as they get in, they just everything changes.
Have you ever
They can't
voted?
trust anybody. Yeah, I used to vote a long time ago, but now I don't because it just doesn't get any better. And who do you vote for? Well, none of them have done us any good, have they? Really?
Don't like Labour?
No. I like Conservative, but they've just let us down this year as well. So it's very hard.
I'm Reform.
And how did you vote last time?
Conservative.
So why the jump?
Why the jump? They haven't done anything what they said they were going to do.
What was it they were going to do?
They were going to stop the boats. They've raised taxes. Interest rates have gone up. They've done nothing.
Do you think Liz Truss will lose?
I do, because most of this town is actually for James Bagg.
Do you think he'll win it?
I don't think he'll win it. I think Reform's going to pip him, but I think he's got a lot of votes coming his way.
But Labour might win because you're voting, instead of voting Tory, some people are voting for him and Labour might come through the middle.
Not in Norfolk. I doubt it very much. Not this. This is staunch blue. Staunch blue. It's always been blue.
I know, but if some of hers are going to Reform, some go... Do you see what I mean? It splits the vote.
Yeah, no, that won't happen.
If you woke up to Labour being the local MP here, would you be upset with yourself?
No. It's got to be Reform.
I am for Farage. I think he's a very good leader and he cares for this country. He was accused for racism and I believe he cares more than anyone else. Than
anyone else? Literally anyone in the country?
No. I mean, compared to lots of leaders, who let all those boats into the country, who can't stop the Calais because the people come through.
I mean, obviously, a very small proportion of people who arrive here arrive by small boats.
But it's not a small portion, it's a very big portion.
It's a very small proportion of immigration.
And it costs taxpayers money.
Well, how would you, because the government came up with Rwanda, which is hugely expensive, how would you stop small boats arriving?
Well, to send them back to where they came from. And France,
So you'd send them back to Afghanistan, for example?
Well, the thing is that it's all arranged. It's an arranged, organised crime.
But just as an example, because
they pay a lot of money to be on the boat. They pay a lot of money, to be guided to get here.
But just to be clear about what you would do with the small boats, as an example,
just stop them where they came from. Like if they came from France, send them back to France, and France has to, track where they came from, send them where they came from. So just send them where they came from. I'm not.
But you wouldn't deport people to Afghanistan, would you? Because that's the number one origin.
The thing is that, they arrive in Greece, they arrive in Turkey, they arrive in France, and they all want to come to England.
But France takes more refugees than we do.
They are having a very big problem with that.
Labour.
Labour? Have you always voted Labour?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because this is quite a conservative area. That's why I
come from Liverpool and Thatcher destroyed the place.
That was from Wallasey. Wally back. So you're quite rare around here.
Quite rare anyway.
I know, by the way, obsessed with this, completely obsessed. Do you ever talk about politics with people around here?
Not really.
Do you think, what would happen if you did, do you think, said you were a Labour voter?
I've no idea because I've never tried.
How long have you lived here?
About 5 years.
What do you think about the fact you moved somewhere which has Liz Truss as its local MP?
That depresses me, but you can't have everything, can you? Nowhere's perfect.
Even though I said this is a Conservative area, you're a Labour voter, Labour might win here. What do you think? Do you think that's possible? She could lose to Labour here?
I hope so, but I don't know.
Do you like Keir Starmer?
No. I'm a Corbyn man, and the only reason I vote Labour is just to get the Tories out and nothing to do with Reform UK or any of the other right-wing nutters. So
I've met some people who voted Labour last time. They're going to vote Reform now.
That's their hard luck, innit?
Why do you think that's happening?
Because he's selling a story to people and their bigotries and prejudices.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He's telling them what they want to hear, like they all do. But, that's the way life is.
A lot of people keep mentioning the arrival of often refugees on small boats in a very pejorative way, let's put it that way. What's your thoughts on that?
The real enemy arrives by yacht and limousine, not in a small boat. The rich are the people killing this country, no one else.
Why do you think so many people blame the anger goes on refugees and migrants instead of the rich?
That worked for Adolf Hitler back in the 30s, didn't it? So it's working now as well. You blame somebody else for the problems that you're causing.
I mean, I also find there's very low levels of immigration in this area. So I just find it quite interesting. Why do you think, I mean, the number of people from other countries is very low compared to the rest of the country. Why are so many people angry about something which doesn't actually really affect them here?
Because they're rich enough to be angry about it, whereas the rest of us live with them. There's a vast number in Liverpool, and we all just get along with each other and carry on with it.
So do you think this place should learn from Liverpool?
In some ways, yeah.
People's Republic of Liverpool?
Oh, definitely. definitely.
I wanted to go reform, to be honest. But since that bloke said, and he's only saying what we all think, shoot them when they're coming off the boats.
Ooh, are we all? I'm not thinking that. Are you thinking that?
Oh, you're a woke.
Why is it woke to not murder people now? Is woke not murder?
No, they're the do-gooders.
If you're shooting, do you not think woke means whatever woke means? Shooting people, unarmed people as they come off boats?
No, shoot the boats. They should shoot the boats over on the French coast.
But that would just kill everyone.
No, they can just swim back to shore then.
People would, and they drown anyway. If you shoot a load of boats, they're going to drown, aren't they?
No, if you shoot them close enough to shore, don't let them get on them. The French have literally cut one up.
Right. I mean, if you're shooting at boats, then the bullets are going to hit the people in it as well, aren't they?
No, you aim at the boats.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to kill people doing that. I mean, do you not? I mean, they're human beings, aren't they? Whatever you think about them, they're human.
No, they're human beings, but
like it's different. They have different.
They've got no control, have they? Nobody's got any control over this. It's just happening, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Some people mentioned about small boats, the refugees, migrants.
Yeah.
Does that bother you?
No, not really.
Why do so many people get so obsessed with it, do you think?
I don't know. It's awful the way the world is today, isn't it? I feel really sorry for them in a way, yes.
Do you think people should be more understanding?
I think so, yes. I'll probably be out there pulling them all in. No, it's very, very sad if you think you were in that situation.
Do you feel like here by the grace of God go I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit. But I'm that sort of a person. I've always been in a caring job, and I think it stays with you.
Why do you say? I mean, I found it interesting why people, you know, sometimes like revel in being quite cruel about it. You know, like someone said about shooting them.
Oh, it's horrible. Yes, I agree. That's dreadful.
Why do you think they do, though? What do you think? What do you think that's all about?
I really don't know. They possibly don't know themselves, I think. Just pure ignorance. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I wouldn't like to be in a sort of set-up like that, but and go through all that, and children and everything. It's awful, isn't it?
I don't know if Liz Truss is going to keep her seat, and that is a ludicrous thing for me to have to say, because even if Labour were going to get a really substantial landslide, the Tories should still expect to keep this seat by a healthy margin. The fact we're even speculating about Liz Truss's seat, that shows what an existential crisis the Conservatives are currently in. Their voting coalition, as we heard in Liz Truss's own constituency, is splintering all over the place. Some are voting for reform, some are going for Labour, some aren't going to vote at all. What does that mean for the Conservatives? Well, I think it sums up why they're in a catastrophic mess. It's one thing to fail on the terms of your opponents. I was never going to like what the Tories did in office, but the Tories have failed on their own terms. That's their problem. Most governments, when they anger their opponents, they can at least say, here are what we regard as our big shining achievements. They don't have that. The country is not better off. This has been a period of unprecedented squeeze in living standards, crisis in the public services like the NHS because of austerity and all the rest, stagnant growth. What's their one big achievement? That's why this is all falling apart. This is a crisis-ridden country, and no one can say they're better off than when the Tories came to power in the first place, and that includes many of the people who voted for them over and over again. Whatever happens in Liz Truss's seat, the Conservatives face an apocalyptic crisis. They're going to face one of the worst drubbings, maybe the worst drubbings in their history. Now, what happens next? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in the coming years. And I think my fear is when the triumphalism wears off, Labour wins their massive landslide, they're winning it because people hate the Tories and they want them out, but Farageism is waiting in the wings. And all over the country in different constituencies, they're looking to him for their hope, I suppose, as the opposition to that new Labour government. If the left doesn't get their act together, then Nigel Farage could be the man who in a few years' time could be scooping up all that disillusionment. That's something to think about. Please like and subscribe. Do leave your comments to help us keep the show on the road at patreon.com/OJ84. Listen to the podcast. I'll speak to you soon.